Good evening and welcome into the FNN Tuesday Night High School Football Coaches Show. And we are proud to have you with us live at Struts in Oxford as we get our last show of football season started tonight here from Struts in Oxford. I encourage you to come on down and join the good folks here at Struts anytime you want to come and check out the big games. They've got all the biggest games on. Duke and Michigan State playing right now in college basketball. We've got college football game on over on another big screen. So all of the best sporting events are all covered right here at Struts, and they got some of the best food anywhere around. So make your plans to come out and enjoy game time with the good folks here at Struts in Oxford. To my left, Brandon Steele, and over on the far end tonight, Jim Jacobs, as we open the show because, well, we got a couple of things that we need to address before we get into our guests tonight.
Yeah, absolutely, Grady, and you know, we want to go ahead and take care of that now. Last Tuesday, we had guests here on the show, and Brandon got us off in an area that, well, let's just say the swamp got deep.
Yeah.
As we somehow got on the topic of open enrollment, and coming back from the game Friday night from Sylvania, we put up a post on one of the social media platforms, I think it was Facebook, that we traveled 300 and something miles in the last 2 days and all that, and got a kind of a negative response back from a Piedmont fan. And come to find out that there were some folks in Piedmont that were kind of upset with the topic and how it got handled and some of the implications that might have been derived from it, I guess is the best way to put it, or conceived from it by some of the Piedmont folks that watch the show. So I wanted to come on and basically talk about this just a little bit from two different fronts, and you guys chime in whenever you feel it's appropriate. But the first thing we want to do is deal with Piedmont. We have the utmost respect for Coach Steve Smith, for the administration at that school, for the facilities that they built, and the athletic programs that they run there. It is a first-class operation. As a parent and a father, if I had a son that wanted to play football, I can guarantee you that Steve Smith and Piedmont High School is one of the places that I would want him to go. And if you're a parent that has a kid that wants to play football, why not look at Piedmont? I mean, it's a championship quality program. It's top flight facilities. It's a very good school.
It is.
And Grady, you know, you and I have done this a long time, and we know a lot of coaches. I don't know one that doesn't love their kids. And
No.
and you know, if you step on the toes of any of their kids in any way that's either intended or unintended, they're going to get their back up. And I understand that.
Mm-hmm. They are, and I think to further what you just talked about with Piedmont and with Coach Steve Smith, I got the utmost respect for him as a coach and a person. A pleasure to work with he and all of the folks there at Piedmont, and always have enjoyed our trips when we get to go up to the Field of Champions. It is an absolutely beautiful facility, and they're a first-class school, and we've said a lot this season, if you want to be the man, you got to beat the man. Well, when it comes to high school athletics, they're the man, especially in football.
And you know, the other thing, too, about that, Grady, is when you're the man, you got a target on your back. You know, there are always going to be people that are going to be jealous. Programs that aren't winning, that want to say that this program or that program is not doing something the right way, and that's why they're winning. Well, I feel like I can honestly say that I know Steve Smith well enough to know that program is run completely, absolutely, 110% above board. And, you know, this thing right here, it can be your best friend in the world, but it can also be in the hands of people that are just sometimes just don't know what they're talking about, be the most dangerous thing in the world. To some of you that put posts up over the weekend aimed at us or aimed at, the topic in general, your mama wouldn't be proud of you. And, you know, that's not necessary. Grady, we encourage dialogue. There's nothing wrong with dialogue and debating things like this rule, but have class, people.
Yeah.
You know, if you don't like something we say, that's fine. We can accept that, but don't start cursing at us or people that, support us or, things along those lines, because that's non-productive, and it doesn't do anything but make everybody look bad. So for those of you that did that, shame on you. You ought to know better. Your mama raised you better. You ought to go to church Sunday. For those of you who understand where we were coming from, and I'm gonna give Brandon's the one that did this, so we're gonna let him have the last word on it. But I can tell you, from the network standpoint, we are nothing but about supporting the kids and doing high school sports in a way that nobody else does, so that it gets done and it gets done right. And that's really our mission statement. It's pretty simple. It's a 1 or 2 sentence mission statement. We just want to do it and do it well. We're sorry if anybody got offended by what we did. That was not our intention. I know it wasn't his intention. This guy's too good to do that. And let's put this to bed and move on down the road so we can talk about football, because we got some great guests lined up tonight.
I'm ready to hear the guests.
Well, we have a full slate of guests tonight, including Coach Jonathan Miller from the Saks Wildcats, who are having an outstanding season. We also have
LaDerrick Bell is here.
Our player of the week
he's
from
coach
last week.
Yeah,
right?
He's Coach Miller's quarterback from last week. Also, Daryl Dalton Hamby is here.
Yeah.
He's the final regular season or the first round of the playoffs, Week 11 player of the week. Last one we're going to do. Coach Howard is here from Spring Garden, and time permitting,
Joe Medley.
he might stop by. I don't know if is he here?
He's right behind us.
Okay, well, Joe Medley will join us, and we're also going to get Chrissy on from here at Struts.
Though I am inclined to not let him on after he had the press box occupied on Friday night up at Sylvania.
And was rubbing it in.
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
Well, he kept opening the hatch, letting the heat out.
So he did.
Boy, we got a good game this Friday night, guys. We don't have the road to travel, but we got a great matchup in 3A.
Colbert Heights at Weaver will be on the air 6:30 with round 2 action from out at Bearcat Stadium. Looking forward to that.
Me too.
Should be a great game.
Well, to quote you, let's grab a timeout, and when we come back, we'll get Jonathan Miller in my place and talk about the Saks Wildcats, who are the number 3 team in the state right now?
I believe that's right.
Yeah, number 3 team in Class 4A, and talk about their big matchup at Jack Stewart Field this Friday night at Dora when we continue on the Tuesday night Football Coaches Show live from Struts. Thanks for watching.
I'm race car driver Cruz Skinner. Out on the dirt track, we put dings and dents in our cars almost every night. That's just part of the game. But when it comes to what you drive every day, an unexpected accident creates worry. At Skinner Body Shop in Oxford, we've been taking the stress out of getting wrecked vehicles repaired for years. We have the professional team in place to handle everything from the original free estimate to the final cleanup after all the repairs are complete. We work with all major insurance carriers, so next time the unexpected happens to you, call us at Skinner Body Shop.
Forsyth Builders are passionate about what they do. A full-service contracting firm, Forsyth handles a variety of jobs, including industrial, commercial, renovations, and new construction. Forsyth has become a leader in construction management and has constructed or made additions on a number of area businesses like Noble Bank and ABS Business Systems, additions to Anniston's Country Club and FNN Bank.
Remember to make Forsyth Building Company your first choice for quality construction.
We welcome you back here to the Tuesday Night Coaches Show here on FNN, live from Struts in Oxford, as we are each and every week, as we put the wraps on our football edition of the show for this regular season and the early rounds of the playoffs. We'll hopefully, of course, do it again next year. But we're going to have a great show to finish it off with. And our first guest of the night, Coach Jonathan Miller, the head coach of the Saks Wildcats. Coach, welcome into the show. We're so glad to have you with us.
Thanks for having me.
Coach, if it's possible to be a top 5 team and flying under the radar, it seems like Saks has been that this year. We've seen you play, and we've heard a lot of talk around our immediate area, but it just seems to have been almost just a quiet season for Saks, just a really, really good one.
Well, that's the way I like it. We like to fly under the radar as coaches. But, I think a lot of it had to do with last year. We were 6-5 and, had a first-round playoff exit. And I just think, a lot of the hype leading into the following years kind of based on how you did the preceding year. So, we didn't have such a great year last year, but, we had a young team, very inexperienced. And, that was what we got out of last year. We gained a lot of experience. Our guys were able to play on Friday night, and last year we were replacing just about our entire offense. We were replacing about 98% of our yards from scrimmage. So we basically started over. And, those guys just had to get acclimated to what we were doing and playing under the lights. And we felt like we were going to be pretty good this year if we stayed away from injuries at certain spots. And, we've had a good season, and we've been under the radar, and that's okay.
Let me paint a picture here. It's 2017. It's the day after Christmas. It's dreary. It's raining. I go out to Saks High School because I'm very bored and I'm just wanting to do some exercising. And there's 12 of your football players out there practicing and running and spending some time together the day after Christmas. Talk about your leadership and how that's not the first time I've seen them out there running stadiums on their own.
Well, we got a lot of guys that enjoy working, and that's a joy for a coach. They're always in the gym. We work out a lot at the school and run at the school, and they do a lot of that on their own too. And they also work out in local gyms around the area, at night. So a lot of guys, that's good. We're big and strong, and it's due from that work ethic and those guys getting out and running on their own and conditioning at times when we're not doing things as a team. So we've got a large senior class, 15 seniors, which is large for us. And, they've led by example. And that's just another example, and they've done a great job for us all year.
I hadn't seen that since I was younger. You'd ride out to Alexandria and you'd see them out there running stadiums. I forget who the coach was at that time. I guess that was Lou Scales, maybe. No, that was probably before my time. But
I don't know how far you go back. You're pretty old. But,
yeah, but that's but seeing that kind of commodity, kids working together and running stadiums and without a coach pushing them, that just showed me a lot of character.
Has that been kind of maybe what's helped, I guess, this team stay really, really focused throughout the year? You touched on the leadership aspect of it a moment ago and what Brandon's talking about with the individual effort on their own, doing things like that. As you've kind of risen and the season's mounted and the wins have piled up, do you think that's been a big factor in keeping the team staying focused and looking at the task at hand each week?
I think so. We don't have a lot of vocal leadership. That's kind of left up to the coaches at our place. And we've got a lot of guys that do lead by example. And, our seniors are great examples to our underclassmen. And, they instill that work ethic amongst the underclassmen and the rest of the team, and seeing how they work and how they get after it in the weight room and on the field, it just rubs off on the underclassmen.
That was like my second question I was going to ask. What's the difference in this team than you've coached in the past and your other places?
I get a lot of people this year ask me about our 2013 team at Saks because we were 10-0 team, undefeated regular season, made it to the semifinals, lost to the eventual state champion. So I get a lot of people ask me to compare the two teams, and they're very similar. Start the quarterback position where we had a dual threat quarterback who can run and throw both years, Trey Smith and LaDerrick Bell this year. Great athletes, and that's kind of where it starts for us. Great offensive line. We've got five good ones up front, and every game this year that we've won the lines of scrimmage, and that's what you got to do. You can have all the fast guys in the world, but you've got to have guys up front that can win the line of scrimmage, and that's what we've done all year. But we're very similar to the 2013 team. The biggest difference I told our kids the other day is they their season obviously is over. They made it to the semifinals. Now, what is this team going to do? To be compared to them, you either need to get to where, they made the semifinals. We hope to exceed what those guys did.
Well, next up is Dora coming in on Friday night. Tell us what you know about Dora and what type of matchup it is for you.
Well, they've got a great rushing attack, two really good running backs. We've got a work cut out for us. We're glad we're playing at home. It's going to be a tough game for us. Really good defense. Our kids play hard to get after it. And I expect our kids to do the same. So it's a good matchup. Hopefully we can – I think the key to any playoff game is to stay away from turnovers and penalties. And usually whoever wins those two battles have a good outcome on the scoreboard.
Well, tell us who you brought with you tonight.
Our quarterback, LaDerrick Bell, Nigel Parker, one of our defensive linemen, and Amari Abney, a safety and wide receiver.
Well, I know those are key cogs in the success for the team this year, and it's been a great season, but I know you're looking at it means nothing until you get to the end result. If that's hopefully the state championship game in Tuscaloosa, and I know it's been a great year and it'll be a lot of great memories, but you'll get to enjoy those after it's all wrapped up.
Yeah, we're just trying to take it 1 week at a time. You have to stop yourself from looking ahead. Got to focus on door this week, and hopefully we can look back at all the memories after the season, but we got to be focused on the task at hand.
One other question I wanted to ask you, and I almost forgot to do this, but looking at the differences for you as a coaching staff when you get into the playoffs and you start to get these teams that you don't know as much about, that you don't have as much info on and all, how much harder is that on you as a staff to get your team ready to play somebody that you're not as familiar with?
Well, when you don't play a lot of common opponents like you do in region play, it's sometimes hard to get a grasp on how good they are at a certain position, or how will our offensive line fare against their defensive line, because you don't play the similar teams, So you just got to prepare and get as much film on the opponent as you can, and watch as much as you can, and make sure your kids are ready to play and they know what doors. What they do best, and that's run the football. So that's what we got to do to stop them.
Well, Coach Jonathan Miller, it took us a long time to get you in here this season. We're certainly glad to have you with us, and congratulations on a great year to this point, and good luck the rest of the way.
Thanks for having me on.
All right, that's Coach Jonathan Miller, head coach for the Saks Wildcats, joining us tonight. We'll grab a timeout. LaDerrick Bell will join us coming up. He was our high school player of the week from week 10 of the regular season. He'll be coming up next here as the Tuesday night high school football coaches show continues in a moment, live from Struts here on FNN.
Step into the offices of J. Britt Middlebrook CPA, where you'll find professional one-on-one service for business and individual clients. In this ever-changing tax and economic climate, you can count on receiving the expert advice you need. J. Britt Middlebrook works hard to provide every client what they need to meet all deadlines. Tax season will be here soon. For all your accounting service needs, call or stop by at 1913 Berry Street in Oxford. That's J. Britt Middlebrook, CPA.
Life happens everywhere. Like it never even happened, only happens here. The cleanup and restoration specialists at ServPro.
Hey, this is Coach Chris from Professional Apothecary, and we're your hometown team.
We take care of all your pharmacy and medical equipment needs.
When it comes to medical supplies, the team at Professional Apothecary has the winning game plan. Everything from mobility needs to home and portable oxygen, CPAP equipment and supplies, easy lift chairs, and doctor comfort shoes.
And we have all of your over-the-counter needs. Come see us at Professional Apothecary.
Located on North Street, just off the square, on Facebook and online at proapo.com.
Welcome back in, live at Struts in Oxford. It is the Tuesday night high school football coaches show here on the Friday Night Network. Grady Sapp, Brandon Still, and our next guest, he was our player of the week for week 10 of 2017. LaDerrick Bell, the quarterback for the Saks Wildcats, is with us. And LaDerrick, thanks for being on the show with us tonight.
Thank you.
Talk about your season so far. I know it's been good for you, and I know more importantly, you've been great for the team so far.
Yes, sir. It's been all year. Like Coach been talking to us about going through adversity all year, so we got to listen to him a lot. Last year, we came up short, so we just took a lot from last year and brought it into this year.
Well, awesome. But you are the player of the week, 10 FNN, so on behalf of FNN, we'd like to present you with your trophy for the week.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. And I guess my question is, and I like to ask this, but, you're a superstar in the Saks area.
Yes,
you're the
sir.
quarterback. There's a lot of young kids that look up to you and stuff. What would you, kind of look at the camera and tell them, what does it take to make it to be a quarterback and to have success?
It's it's a lot of responsibility you got to take up. So I just trust in myself, trust in my teammates, trust in my coaches. We just, got to build that comfort level around everybody and have everybody on the same page. And I just feel like we did that this year, and I feel like we together this year.
Well, you got a big win in round one and improved the record up to 11-0. Now you got Dora coming in on Friday night. You guys looking forward to the challenge this week?
Yes, sir, we is. We also been an underdog. Like, everybody been looking over us a little bit, but we take that and use that as momentum to go in. So we're going to do what we got to do.
Well, it's been a great year, outstanding football team, and you guys have done great. We look forward to hopefully great things for you the rest of the postseason, and I hope to see you over there in Tuscaloosa playing for all of it. That's LaDerrick Bell. He was our FNN High School Player of the Week for Week 10. We'll grab a timeout, talk with a couple more of his teammates coming up next. It is the Tuesday night high school football coaches show here on the Friday Night Network, live at Struts in Oxford.
When you're the boss, you need the right machines. The right machine is the new Kawasaki Mule Pro FXR side-by-side. Quality fit and finish, and all this cabin space. Maneuvers like you wouldn't believe. The new Kawasaki Mule Pro FXR, the strongest, because I said so.
See the full line today at Talladega Cycle Sales on Highway 21 in Talladega or online at TalladagaCyclesales.com.
Hey, this is Coach Chris from Professional Apothecary, and we're your hometown team.
We take care of all your pharmacy and medical equipment needs.
When it comes to medical supplies, the team at Professional Apothecary has the winning game plan. Everything from mobility needs to home and portable oxygen, CPAP equipment and supplies, easy lift chairs, and doctor comfort shoes.
And we have all of your over-the-counter needs. Come see us at Professional Apothecary.
Located on North Street, just off the square, on Facebook and online at proapo.com.
I'm race car driver Crew Skinner. Out on the dirt track, we put dings and dents in our cars almost every night. That's just part of the game. But when it comes to what you drive every day, an unexpected accident creates worry. At Skinner Body Shop in Oxford, we've been taking the stress out of getting wrecked vehicles repaired for years. We have the professional team in place to handle everything from the original free estimate to the final cleanup after all the repairs are complete. We work with all major insurance carriers, so next time the unexpected happens to you, call us at Skinner Body Shop.
Griffin Laser Engraving in Lincoln is your authorized local dealer for personalized Yeti products. Get your Yeti customized for your team, a business, or a special event. Your color, graphics, even photos. At Griffin Laser Engraving, we make it the way you want it. Order just one or hundreds, and you'll find a full line of Yeti coolers and accessories on hand, even the hard-to-find items. Nationally recognized, but right here at home in Lincoln for quality awards, trophies, powder coating, and personalized Yeti items, Griffin Laser Engraving.
Welcome back into the FNN Tuesday night high school football coaches show. I'm Grady Sapp, now joined by a couple more special guests for the Saks Wildcats, a team that sits at 11-0, heading into the Friday night's matchup with Dora. Marie, did I get that right?
Yes, sir.
All right, and you play what for the Wildcats?
I play safety and wide receiver.
Safety and wide receiver. And Nigel Parker,
yes,
your
sir.
teammate. And Nigel, what do you play?
Defensive end.
Defensive end. Guys, I want to just talk to you a little bit quickly about your season. You've put together an undefeated mark. You're going into the second round of the playoffs. And Coach Miller talked a lot about the senior leadership on this team and how you guys really kind of lead by example on it. Talk a little bit about your year and how you do that.
We just had a good year, man. We've been grinding, and everybody been stepping up this year. This our senior year. We know we got to go out with a bang.
We're real hungry.
Hungry to get it home. And I know that a few years ago you had a team from 2013 that made it to the semifinals, and this team has all the markings of one that can get all the way to Tuscaloosa.
Yeah, we looked up to the 2013 team.
looked up to them, and
Yes, sir.
y'all would like to exceed what they did.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. What about Dora this week? How excited are you for the chance to get back out there and get another one in the books?
Very excited, just hungry. We want to be in that state championship game.
Want to bring it home.
What do you think it would mean to the community and to the school to get a state championship in football?
It would mean a lot. The first one.
Yeah, they all behind us. That's going to feel good.
Well, I know it means a lot to get to play at home in front of the home crowd this Friday night. I know they'll be really cheering you guys on. Well, congratulations on a great season to this point, and hey, we sure appreciate you taking a couple of minutes and coming up here to see us at Struts and be on the show. And good luck to you the rest of the way.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to grab a timeout. We're coming back with much more. It is the Tuesday Night High School Football Coaches Show here on the Friday Night Network, live at Struts in Oxford.
Anniston Auto Trim and Body Shop is your best stop for full-service auto body repair, including all body work and professional painting. They also specialize in complete classic car restoration. When you have an accident, you want it back the way it was, and that's what you get with the team at Anniston Auto Trim. The same is true if you're ready to restore your dream car or a timeless family classic. They work with all major insurance companies and provide free estimates for every job. Come by today and see Stacy Jennings and the gang at Anniston Auto Trim and Body Shop, just up the hill off Quintard on Greenbrier Deer Road.
Just a reminder, kids who participate in high school activities tend to go a little farther than those who don't. Take part. Get set for life.
Forsyth Builders are passionate about what they do. A full-service contracting firm, Forsyth handles a variety of jobs, including industrial, commercial, renovations, and new construction. Forsyth has become a leader in construction management and has constructed or made additions on a number of area businesses like Noble Bank and ABS Business Systems, additions to Anniston's Country Club and FNN Bank.
Remember to make Forsyth Building Company your first choice for quality construction.
Welcome back into the Friday Night Network Tuesday Night High School Football Coaches Show. We are live as we are every week from Struts in Oxford. Thanks so much for tuning in, and of course invite you to come down to Struts and enjoy all the big games on the big screens here, plus some of the best food around. All of that right here at Struts in Oxford. Grady Sapp alongside Brandon Steele, and now we've got Coach Jason Howard from the Spring Garden coming in to see us tonight. And Coach, welcome aboard the show, and congratulations on the big playoff win last week.
Hey, thank you guys. We appreciate it, and I'm glad to be on here.
Well, you know, the season, you had a couple of losses down the stretch toward the end of the season. What did you do to get the team rebounded and refocused and ready to go for postseason?
We just talked about refocusing, and, you know, we played a couple of tough teams right there. Towards the end, that Cedar Bluff game was a big game, and then Pleasant Valley being a bigger school, and they played pretty well against us, and we was banged up with some kids and had to try to get back healthy, and still was banged up a little bit going into last week, but I felt like the kids came out and played real well. We probably put together our best game that we've played all year last week, and that's sort of what we thought we'd have to do to advance in there. And I was proud of them. Like I said, they faced some adversity with the injuries and everything we had, and then rebounded after those two losses right there to come back and get a big home win.
You know, Grady was talking to Coach Miller a while ago, you know, about how do you prepare for teams that you don't see every day and getting film and studying on them. I have to go back, I guess, when you start watching, like, remember the Titans, and you see them in there with the projector sitting there watching film. Is it really like that as a head coach?
It's not really like it anymore. Everybody now is on a program called Huddle. It's all done online. I'll be honest with you, by the time we Pleasant Valley week, we watched very little Pleasant Valley film. We already knew that the playoffs was the most important. I think we had 8 games on Phillips going in to the first round of the playoffs, and now it's pretty much just pick up the phone and call somebody and say, hey, you guys on Huddle, will you send me these games? And everybody shares the games and everything like that. So a little different now. When it comes to film study, you know, we blow it up on the LCD projector just like, you know, you're watching this show right here, and you put hours and hours in on film study. we're fortunate enough to have athletics class where we got all of our football team in there, so we get them for 96 minutes every day, and we are able to do a lot of film study then that don't take away from our practice time and stuff.
Now, do you still have to get up on Saturday morning after the game on Friday night and go to Montgomery and meet or nearby places?
We still go to Montgomery for the playoffs.
For the playoffs,
but
okay.
During regular season, that's became obsolete. And I mean, I think it's good and bad. My wife really likes it. I'll tell you that much.
I bet.
But I think it hurt the camaraderie of coaches. I feel like 10 years ago, the coaches and everybody around the region was a lot closer because every Saturday morning we did get up and we did meet and had face-to-face interaction with each other. And there's a couple of coaches in the region that the only time I ever saw them was whenever we played on Friday night because everything else was done, through electronic stuff with the film transfer. And like I said, I think it has hurt the ranks of the coaches, just the camaraderie and the friendships that was developed over the years of getting up, meeting. Because when you meet them on Saturday, you'd sit around and talk to them for an hour and a half after you did film study. But it does give you time to take Saturday and spend Saturday with your family and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Spring Garden's kind of up there, out of sight, out of mind.
We really are.
So I guess my question is, when you're getting into the playoffs and, you're having success, is that something good to help keep your team focused, without having to listen to all the stuff out in town?
It really is. I mean, we've had a good playoff run, just to be honest with you. We've been in it, several years now, and it's one of the things that what used to be. And don't get me wrong, there's excitement there from the community, but now it's more of an expectation type excitement other than, oh, hey, this is brand new, we got to do it. So I think that breeds into the culture that we're trying to develop up there, and our kids have bought into that, and it's something that they expect. They expect to be playing in November. I mean, that's what we've talked about. We talk about after the time change, having to turn the lights on, and we talk about, it's nice to play under the light or practice under the lights, and that's always a positive.
What's the feel? I guess the different feel for you when you go into the postseason and you start to have the playoff games. What's the different feel? I guess from that and a regular season. I mean, obviously you're done if you lose. I mean, I know that's a different feel, but what can you feel the atmosphere in the stadiums to be different than you experienced during the regular season?
I think it really is. I mean, it turns into every game's a big game. There was sort of an electric feel when we played Cedar Bluff. Mm-hmm. Everybody knew that was for a region championship. And,
right.
That first game of the year is always a big game because everybody's excited. But then you hit a lull, really, towards the end of the season when it becomes sort of a drag. And I don't mean drag in a bad way, but a grind, I guess I should say. Mm-hmm. And it becomes a grind on your fans also, because they've been coming to the games, and, what people don't understand is a lot of times you got families that have one child playing on Friday night, and they may have another one playing on Monday night or Tuesday night in the junior high game. Then on Saturday morning, they may have a small child playing on Saturday, so they've been going 3 nights a week. And by the time you get to week 8 or 9, it really gets to wear and tear on the family. And then the playoffs comes, and it's just like breathing a breath of fresh air into everybody. Everybody gets rejuvenated a little bit.
I know one thing. I sure do like y'all's facilities. I officiated for 10 years. I first went to Spring Garden to call a ball game, and it really felt like a big, huge atmosphere up there with your fans. And,
I know why you're so against me now that I figured out you was officiating for 10 nights. Now, hey, makes sense. No, I'm kidding.
I've had a long week.
I tell you what, man, you ain't the only one. We talk about a grind. It has been a grind. But really, we are blessed, especially being a small school like we are, to have the facilities, that we have. We put our facilities against not only any 1A around here, but 2A, 3A. And then when you get into the bigger schools, I mean, of course, they're going to have larger stuff, but our kids take a lot of pride in, the quality of the stuff we have, and they take a lot of pride. We got a brand new weight room. It's not brand new anymore, but you walk into it, it still looks brand new, even though it's several years old now. But things like that, and the stadium right there when you top the hill, you see the football stadium, everything. Like I said, it's something that the entire community takes a lot of pride in, and it goes from everything from our gym and basketball. Our kids still don't wear their shoes out on the gym floor. You take shoes off when you go into the gym. Our kids make sure there's nothing on the football field. I mean, we don't practice on it. They know, nobody goes on it for PE. Some places use their football fields for PE and stuff, and I mean, we just don't do things like that. And it does when you put that emphasis on it and show that you take pride in it. I think everybody in the community, the kids and everybody does take pride in it.
It shows. It's really, really nice.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Talk about your matchup coming up in round 2 Friday night.
I think they're one of the best teams in the North. I mean, you look at them and look at their history as far as when they've been in 1A. Just about every year that they're in 1A, they're either playing for the state championship or they get beat in the semifinal game. So, they're a very, very good team. They've got a couple of losses to bigger schools this year, but that's why you play the playoffs. You don't go by that kind of stuff, but they're very talented, very big. They got some guys that are really, they got defensive linemen that I really believe. I don't know what his academics are, but we could be watching him play prime time on Saturdays in 4 or 5 years. He's a 10th grader, 6'3", 280, and he's good. He can move, and he like I said, has the talent, has the ability to be playing, like I said, on primetime TV on Saturdays.
Well, tell us about some of the stars you brought with you today.
I actually brought 2 captains. Stars sometimes are off the field too, leadership now. One of them's our center. He has led us, several years at the center position, and that's Christian Kreider. And then our other one's Draven Bowman, who's a senior for us, and he's really one of our vocal leaders on the team, and he does, anything in the world that you ask him to do, and he plays safety for us, and we call him quarterback of our defense, but he's one of the most intelligent football players I've ever been around. He makes sure everybody's lined up right, and those things that are just invaluable for us.
Well, Coach Howard, we appreciate you coming up or coming down, I guess, and being on the show with us tonight. Congratulations on a great regular season, and good luck to you the rest of the way in the postseason.
Okay, guys. Thank y'all. Thank y'all for having us,
yes,
too.
Sir.
Appreciate it.
Coach Jason Howard, head coach for Spring Garden with us tonight. It's late in the season. We're going to grab a timeout. We're coming back with a whole lot more. It is the Tuesday night high school football coaches show live on FNN from Struts in Oxford.
Life happens everywhere. Like it never even happened, only happens here. The cleanup and restoration specialists at ServPro.
Hey, this is Coach Chris from Professional Apothecary, and we're your hometown team.
We take care of all your pharmacy and medical equipment needs.
When it comes to medical supplies, the team at Professional Apothecary has the winning game plan. Everything from mobility needs to home and portable oxygen, CPAP equipment and supplies, easy lift chairs, and doctor comfort shoes.
And we have all of your over-the-counter needs. Come see us at Professional Apothecary.
Located on North Street, just off the square, on Facebook and online at proapo.com.
Welcome back into the Tuesday night high school football coaches show here live on FNN from Struts in Oxford. Again, encourage you to come down to Struts and enjoy all the big games on all the big screens lining this place. Every big game, they've got it on each and every night. And, of course, great food as well that we always eat so good while we're here. And we want to welcome in now our next couple of guests. And Christian Kreider, who is the starting center for Spring Garden, is down to my far left. And then Draven Bowman right here next to me is the starting safety and wide receiver for Spring Garden. Guys, welcome to the show. Thanks for being with us.
Good to be here.
I want to talk a little bit about, I guess I'll start with you, Draven. You're closest. Talk about this team and the kind of year you guys have put together. It sounds like a close-knit group.
Yeah. And it all started during the summer workouts, things like that. Had a pretty successful year. Guys like me and Christian were on the team last year. You know, we've dropped 3 losses so far this year, and we lost 2 last year, so we're not really used to losing, and nobody on the team is, which is a good thing.
Right.
It really is. But, man, we're excited. We're ready to get out here and play Pickens and play them tough and get to the third round.
Well, Christian, yeah, talk about, of course, you had the losses in the regular season, but now all that's kind of behind you in the postseason. That's a whole new football season for you. Talk about getting ready for Pickens County, how excited you guys are for the challenge.
We're very excited. Looking at them, they're a pretty good bit like us. A lot of power running, and that's kind of our suit at Spring Garden, and that's what we've been known for a long, long time. One of our big things with them is they got a big, bulky offensive and defensive line. And so that should be a good test for us and a great challenge, and I'm very excited.
One thing Coach Howard mentioned is that you guys, you've won, and the program's been successful, that the expectations are to be exactly where you are playing in November at this point. And that's kind of a nice feeling to have when you expect to be there every year.
Yep. There's nothing like playing in November. No. Practicing in November, playing in the playoffs, man, it's a whole nother deal.
Do you feel the pressure?
No.
No,
I don't feel pressure.
With being on the teams that we've had, make it run in the playoffs. Me and him both have been on the teams of last year. So I mean, it's just another season, and we expect to be here, and we expect to make a deep run at this thing.
Oh yeah.
Well, guys, great season to this point, and hopefully you can get Pickens County. Be a tall order coming up Friday night, but it sounds like you guys are ready for the challenge.
Yes, sir.
All right, well, good luck to you the rest of the way, and thank you so much for coming on the show tonight.
No problem. Thank you.
All right, we appreciate that. That is Christian Kreider and Draven Bowman from Spring Garden, kind enough to join us tonight. We'll get a timeout. We're coming back with more of the show straight ahead. It is the Tuesday Night High School Football Coaches Show, live from Struts here on the Friday Night Network.
I'm race car driver Crew Skinner. Out on the dirt track, we put dings and dents in our cars almost every night. That's just part of the game. But when it comes to what you drive every day, an unexpected accident creates worry. At Skinner Body Shop in Oxford, we've been taking the stress out of getting wrecked vehicles repaired for years. We had the professional team in place to handle everything from the original free estimate to the final cleanup after all the repairs are complete. We work with all major insurance carriers, so next time the unexpected happens to you, call us at Skinner Body Shop.
Griffin Laser Engraving in Lincoln is your authorized local dealer for personalized Yeti products. Get your Yeti customized for your team, a business, or a special event. Your color, graphics, even photos. At Griffin Laser Engraving, we make it the way you want it. Order just one or hundreds, and you'll find the full line of Yeti coolers and accessories on hand, even the hard-to-find items. Nationally recognized, but right here at home in Lincoln for quality awards, trophies, powder coating, and personalized Yeti items, Griffin Laser Engraving.
When you're the boss, you need the right machines. The right machine is a new Kawasaki Mule Pro FXR side-by-side. Quality fit and finish, and all this cabin space. Maneuvers like you wouldn't believe. The new Kawasaki Mule Pro FXR, the strongest, because I said so.
See the full line today at Talladega Cycle Sales on Highway 21 in Talladega or online at TalladagaCycleSales.com. Step into the offices of J. Britt Middlebrook, CPA, where you'll find professional one-on-one service for business and individual clients. In this ever-changing tax and economic climate, you can count on receiving the expert advice you need. J. Britt Middlebrook works hard to provide every client what they need to meet all deadlines. Tax season will be here soon. For all your accounting service needs, call or stop by at 1913 Berry Street in Oxford. That's J. Britt Middlebrook, CPA.
Welcome back into the Tuesday Night High School Football Coaches Show here on the Friday Night Network. We're live at Struts, and a couple special guests now joining me, Coach Daryl Hamby and Dalton Hamby from the Weaver Bearcats. Guys, thanks for being on.
Appreciate it.
Well, Coach, once again, the postseason's rolled around, and once again, you've rolled up and gotten a big win on the road against a very tough Plainview team last Friday night.
Yeah, it's a very big win, especially the way we finished. I just take my hats off to the kids because it wasn't because of coaching we won that game. It's the kids did a great job.
Nope. Yeah, we'll get your mic up there a little bit. Yeah, going on the road like that in that type of environment, that team had a great year. We saw a team out of their region in Sylvania on Friday night, which is a really good football team.
Yes,
so obviously that's a pretty good region up there.
Oh, yeah, no doubt about it. Like I said, those kids can play. It was a hard-fought game, and I take my hats off to them. I told him after the game, just hard to see a team lose. Of course, I'm glad it was them and not us, but still, my hat's off to them.
And that had to be, Dalton, really exciting going into, what was it, double overtime, or was it just single overtime? It was double overtime last week, wasn't it?
It was double overtime.
Wow.
Yeah.
It was double overtime with a 2-point conversion that we had to go for.
Yeah. So now, were you guys behind when you went for the 2 points?
Yes. Well, what actually happened, I'm trying to give you the real quick, version of it. 2 minutes and 58 seconds, no timeouts, and 80 yards away, and Dalton takes us down, drives us down. Shamar Spinks and Robert Gaines played outstanding and made some really big plays for us, got us down there, and ended up scoring with Caleb Allison, who is a beast. We needed a yard, and he always gets me my yard, and got us in the end zone. Then went to 2 overtimes and made the last 2-point conversion. Happened to be a play that we've run before, but we've only run in practice, and Shamar Spinks runs it so well. It's a pattern that he runs that nobody can really defend. That we haven't found anybody yet. So I said, guys, I think we can score here. Let's go for 2 points. And I said, but seniors, it's up to you. And they decided, well, let's do it. And we did it. And he threw a good pass, and Shamar made a good catch, and game was over.
Well, we were sitting there following it on they had the smartphones out doing the Sylvania and Ohatchee game, and they've come back. It's tied. They're going to overtime. So we were following the game online up there while we were doing the game. So it sounded like a heck of a game. This week you get Colbert Heights coming in. Talk a little bit about them.
Well, anything you've been around football for a long time, you're not going to meet any chumps right now, and a good team coming to us. So we've got to be ready. We've had 2 days of good practice. Just got to keep that up and be ready for Colbert Heights. They're a good team.
Well, I'll tell you guys this. When you play in the region that you guys come out of, and you get in the postseason, as you get into the 3 and 4 seed, you're not a 4 seed that anybody wants to play.
Probably not. I mean, when you're playing Randolph County, Piedmont, Ohatchee, those are pretty tough teams.
Yeah.
And then, of course, I don't know who scheduled Saks, but I did. So, all of a sudden, you're going, wow.
You've seen about as good as you're going to see, period.
You're not
just
kidding.
through the regular season.
That's correct.
Well, you talked about that drive at the end of regulation, and, of course, we got Dalton over here for an outstanding performance over the last week, and we're going to give you our final FNN High School Player of the Week award for your performance on Friday night. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And congratulations on that win. We're looking forward to getting back out to Weaver again Friday night. We always enjoy coming out and watching you guys play.
We'll have a lot of fans and be ready to go.
Yep, going to be a great atmosphere, great game. Colbert Heights coming in 6:30 on Friday night. That'll be our game of the week this week. Coach Hamby, always a pleasure. Dalton, good to see you again, and congratulations, and good luck to you guys the rest of the way.
Appreciate it.
All right, we're going to grab another timeout. When we come back, Joe Medley, who stayed warm last Friday night while the rest of us were freezing up on top of the press box, he'll join us next from the Anniston Star to talk a little more playoff action here as the Tuesday night high school football coaches show continues in a moment on the Friday Night Network.
I'm race car driver Crew Skinner. Out on the dirt track, we put dings and dents in our cars almost every night. That's just part of the game. But when it comes to what you drive every day, and an unexpected accident creates worry. At Skinner Body Shop in Oxford, we've been taking the stress out of getting wrecked vehicles repaired for years. We have the professional team in place to handle everything from the original free estimate to the final cleanup after all the repairs are complete. We work with all major insurance carriers, so next time the unexpected happens to you, call us at Skinner Body Shop.
When you're the boss, you need the right machines. The right machine is the new Kawasaki Mule Pro FXR side-by-side. Quality fit and finish, and all this cabin space. Maneuvers like you wouldn't believe. The new Kawasaki Mule Pro FXR, the strongest, because I said so.
See the full line today at Talladega Cycle Sales on Highway 21 in Talladega or online at TalladagaCycleSales.com. Griffin Laser Engraving in Lincoln is your authorized local dealer for personalized Yeti products. Get your Yeti customized for your team, a business, or a special event. Your color, graphics, even photos. At Griffin Laser Engraving, we make it the way you want it. Order just one or hundreds, and you'll find a full line of Yeti coolers and accessories on hand, even the hard-to-find items. Nationally recognized, but right here at home in Lincoln for quality awards, trophies, powder coating, and personalized Yeti items, Griffin Laser Engraving.
Just a reminder, Kids who participate in high school activities tend to go a little farther than those who don't. Take part. Get set for life.
The Tuesday night high school football coaches show here live from Struts on the Friday Night Network. Grady Sapp, Brandon Steele back in the chair next to me. And now Joe Medley, sports writer for the Anniston Star, joins us. And Brandon, you know who is in the position of power when we are standing over a hatch in Sylvania, rubbing our hands together because the heat rises, and we look back, and Joe Medley is kicked back in the press box, just looking up and just relaxed.
He did come up every minute. He did. Too cold. I'm going back downstairs.
I think it was more a matter of I was the one traveling light and y'all were traveling heavy. Y'all had a lot more equipment than I had. But it was pretty chilly up there. It wasn't.
Yeah, it was rather cool on top of the press box, but a great facility, and enjoyed the hospitality up there. We're good folks up in Sylvania, and we appreciated the way they treated us when we got up there Friday night. Of course, round 2 gets underway this week. Talk about what's got your attention with some of the matchups this week.
Well, first of all, I was going to give you an opportunity by sticking my chin up over that Auburn, Georgia prediction last week.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. You did pick Georgia, didn't you? Yeah.
You don't want to take the opportunity to backfill the explanation for that Alabama boom today?
Did you see that? Did you see the score on that game?
I saw the score on that game.
What was it?
It was 40-17.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. And you picked Georgia. And they had the 17. Okay, thank you, Joe. I enjoyed it.
We have a whole new set of facts to deal with now this week, don't we?
Yeah, we do. Let's talk about some high school playoff action, of course, coming up this week. We get into round 2. We had some upsets last week. We saw some teams exit we didn't expect to see exit. So what do you see in week 2 of it?
Well, you just had Weaver on, and I think they're going to be interesting this week. They were one of 4 number 4 seeds to win in the first round in the whole state of Alabama. And 3 of those number 4s that won last week are right around here. You had Cherokee County and you had Branford. And then the other game was W.S. Neal beat Munford. So all 4 of the number 4s winning happened around here, or involved people are from around here. So, but the Weavers, I think you see them next week.
I think so. I like them to win Friday night. I do. They just seem to get on a roll this time of year. I think playing in that tough region kind of prepares them for the playoffs.
Yeah, and the 3 number 4s I was talking about that won that are from around here, 2A Region 5, 3A Region 5, 4A Region 5. And 11 out of the 12 qualifiers out of those 3 regions make it to the second round.
A little symmetry there, huh?
Amazing.
How about Oxford going into round 2? Muscle Shoals team that put them out last year.
I like them to be around next week, too.
You like Oxford to be around next week. All right.
I think last year was somewhat explained by the fact that they had some significant injuries going in, and people that were playing. I think Abe Peoples played in that game, but he couldn't throw all week. I mean, they were not in the best set of circumstances. They're a lot better off this year that way. And Kendall McCallum, the middle linebacker, went into last week's game with a meniscus tear. But if you saw him blowing people up on the field out there, you wouldn't know it. They tried to fake punt in that game, and that kid, that was the hit that arose from that, and the video that arose from that reminded of a hit that KJ Britt had at Gadsden City last year. He's playing well, and if that's Kendall McCallum hurt, they're in good shape.
All right, talk about some of the others here quickly that you kind of got your eye on this week, the other teams that are still alive here in the postseason.
Well, the 3A Region 5 teams, I think we're on schedule to see another rematch there at some point. I think Piedmont looks good against J.B. Pennington this week.
Randolph County and Fultondale, that's a pretty tough matchup.
Yeah, that I think they've got the worst draw.
Yeah.
Randolph County's, and not only that, they're having to play on the road. It's not just the opponent, but they're having to play on the road. So, but I think we're looking definitely a good chance to see Piedmont and Weaver next week.
That could be fun. That would be fun.
And then maybe Randolph County down the road.
Outstanding. Joe, we got to get on out of here. We're running up against time, but thank you for stopping by. I hope the meal was good. I know it was.
It was awesome.
As always, look forward to seeing your articles on the weekend, and maybe we'll bump into you Friday night.
Thanks for having me, guys. And I promise I'll give you the seat in the press box, okay?
Yeah. Fair enough. Joe Medley, sports writer for the Anniston Star. We'll grab a timeout. We're going to be back and wrap things up for the season coming up next here on the Tuesday Night High School Football Coaches Show here on the Friday Night Network.
Hey, this is Coach Chris from Professional Apothecary, and we're your hometown team.
We take care of all your pharmacy and medical equipment needs.
When it comes to medical supplies, the team at Professional Apothecary has the winning game plan. Everything from mobility needs to home and portable oxygen, CPAP equipment and supplies, easy lift chairs, and doctor comfort shoes.
And we have all of your over-the-counter needs. Come see us at Professional Apothecary.
Located on North Street, just off the square, on Facebook and online at proapo.com.
Welcome back into the Tuesday Night High School Football Coaches Show, live from Struts in Oxford here on the Friday Night Network. Grady Sapp, Jim Jacobs down on the end. And, Jim, we've got our most important guest of the season on with us now.
Absolutely. Look right there and smile. This is Chrissy. She is the night manager. Is that right?
Just a manager, yeah.
Just a minute here. Let me get this up here. Right here. We want everybody to hear you, okay? 'Cause just like we do. Just like we hear you.
Okay.
Chrissy is the night manager here at Struts in Oxford, and she has been so wonderful to us all season long, and I can't tell you how great it's been to come here throughout the football season. And, Grady, we liked it so much, we're coming back.
We are. We're going to come for basketball
season,
too.
We haven't even told you this yet.
Yeah.
You work on Thursday nights?
I do.
Okay, so see, we're going to see you, what, December the 7th, I think is right, is the first one. So we get a little break, get a little turkey in, and then we'll be back. But tell everybody what goes on at Struts when we're not here during the week.
Well, Mondays we always have trivia from 6 till about 7, and Wednesdays we have bingo starting at 7, and you can always win cash prizes, gift cards, you can win appetizers. We have all kinds of stuff going on all those days.
And what do y'all serve here?
Wings, burgers, wraps, chicken, really about everything.
Yeah.
And steak. And it is all so good. So good. And if there's a game on, a big game on, it's on.
It's on everywhere on all the TVs.
And we're going to get it fixed. So when we're here and we're on, we're going to be up there too, right? We're going to work with that with Ryan and try to get all that squared away.
That's a lot of ugly right there. Yeah, that's up on the big screen. I don't know that that's good.
That's a lot of bald, I know that.
Yeah, it is.
But we wanted to get Chrissy on and thank her and all of the waitresses and the waiters here. I mean, everybody has just been so great to work with, and we love coming to Struts. And, of course, they're in the process of doing a lot of remodeling in the Jacksonville store, right?
They are. They're getting a new liquor bar. They're having a front porch. They're going to start actually selling liquor and not just beer. And with JSU football, everything going on, I mean, it's always a good time, so definitely come by.
Absolutely. Well,
can't beat that.
Chrissy, thank you for everything y'all do for us.
Thank you, guys. I really appreciate it.
All right. Well, you just sit tight for a second. Of course, we're going to thank all of our other sponsors that have been a part of the show. I'm probably going to leave somebody out real quick, Grady, but we'll put them up right there on the screen. You can see them. There's Talladega Cycle Sales, Jason Upchurch. Go by and get a motorcycle or an APV for Christmas. All of that's going on right now. Of course, Anniston Auto Trim came in a little late this year. Stacy Jennings and his folks. He just bought 2 new welders for the body shop. I was by there today. Harold Forsyth Building Contractors. They build some of the best high school stadiums, a lot of the banks you see around town. Harold Forsyth's the one that put and he's an Auburn guy. You know that.
Oh, yeah. I love Auburn. I love him. He's a good man.
These things right here.
Yep.
Griffin Laser Engraving. You can't beat them. They do all of our custom work, and if you need a tumbler for Christmas, come in and get them. J. Britt Middlebrook, CPA. Great tax works. Tax season's right around the corner. Hope you'll come by and see them. Of course, Greg Skinner Body Shop, him and Cruz and the whole crew over there. Check them out as well. We got to get out of here, Grady.
We do. We'll see you Friday night from Weaver, 6:30 for our Game of the Week here on the Friday Night Network. Good night, everyone.